Hey guys, it's Tahs. Welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. So today's video is another round of Bookopoly for the Bookopolathon. I finished the first round, so it's time to pick some more books. But before we do that, let's talk about the ones that are read from the last game that we played. There were 5 rolls. I don't know why I have my finger up. 5 rolls. And the first one was Human Main Character. I chose Such a Good Wife by Serafina Nova Glass. This one was about a woman who decided to have an affair. And she is a wife of 2, loving husband. She also takes care of her mother-in-law. And she decides to have the affair and keep it hidden. But little does she know, the man that she's having the affair with is going to be found dead. And so this is her journey of going, what takes her to the point to have the affair. You read about some of the affair, and then you read about the after effects of him being murdered and what she will do to keep her family out of the media. But this one right here, I enjoyed reading it. I felt like they gave enough attention to the detail in it, but the ending, I felt like it went by too quick. They wrapped it up very fast for me. I just wish it would have been a little bit more of a slow wrap up, but all in all, good book. Glad I read it. The next one was Scarlet, which is the continuation in the Lunar Chronicles. This is the second book. I don't want to tell you too much about it. Obviously, it's going to mess the first one. The first one is Cinder, who is she's an android, and she is living with her mother and 2 stepsisters, just like Cinderella, because it is a play off of that. And she finds herself like she's a mechanic for androids and things, and there's a ball and all this stuff, just like in Cinderella. So this is the continuation after all of that. And there's 2 more books in this one, and I'm super excited to continue because I'm loving it. And I see a lot of people are currently reading this at this time, so I'm guessing it's back because this came out in 2017. The second book did, so that would put the first book 2016, 2015-ish. So yeah, I love that one. The next one, if you like Cinder, you will like this one, because this one kind of has the same vibes. This one is a retelling of Cinderella. It is a sci-fi gender swapped retelling where the princess has to find herself a prince to save her planet. And she has to go through all of that grueling stuff of figuring out which prince is the best. How can their planet help her planet? And of course, she doesn't want to. She knows she has to, but she doesn't want to. So she goes about finding a way to solve this problem so that she doesn't have to choose. And there is a character in here, which is a, what do they call him? He's basically like a thief, and he got on this plane, and he never expected to be being kidnapped by a princess, and they form this little bond, and they work through everything that's going on in the planet, kind of who she has to go through and stuff. So, yes. I think I read this one in like a day and a half. I loved it. And then the next one would be that one, that was a myth, lore, legend, fairy retelling for Rogue Princess. And for this one, it was a time of the day. So Find You in the Dark. This one was a good kind of edge of your seat. You're hoping the man doesn't get caught, and you're trying to figure out how he's going to save his butt. Martin Reese is obsessed with murder. He actually buys files of like cold cases off of this one police officer. And then he goes and he discovers, dig sites. He goes and he digs up these bodies and skeletons or whatnot to give closure to the parents of the deceased, but he also taunts the police force by sending messages telling them where they can go and find the body. Like, I did your job for you, so go find it and give closure to this family. But what happens is he goes to a dig site and there's an extra body there. So he feels that someone is watching him. He has to figure out like what's going on, and he has to keep himself from being in the eyes of the police and evading this other person. So if you enjoy a good thriller where the police are involved and the person has to make sure they don't get caught, this was a good one. I absolutely enjoyed this. And then the last one was LGBTQ plus, and I chose Honey Girl. And when I went into this, I thought it's just going to be a little love story. You know, you got a girl named Grace. She just finished up her PhD in astronomy, and they go for a Vegas weekend, and she comes back married and has no idea who she married. So I figured it would just be about that. But it was so much more in this book, and I absolutely love the message. Like, this one dealt with a lot of mental health, and I find it's more of like coming of age in a sense, because like when you have a plan, like you go on to college, like you go to high school, you go to college, and it's time to come out and get a job. Well, not everything is going to fit into your plan. And then you have to deal with the fallout of your mental capacity. And that's just, I find that's the route it went. And like I said, it was just so much more than I expected. And some people don't really like a book that has like a lot of sex scenes and all this stuff in it. This doesn't. I find this focuses more on like loneliness and just figuring out who you are, what you want to do, how can you get there. Yeah, absolutely loved it. I gave it a 5 stars. Like, it was the best. So now that I have done all of that, sorry, my battery's telling me it's 20%. It's time to pick some more books because it's too early for me to start the Fall Into Reading-a-thon books, because that's not till September 20th. Today's only the 14th. So I need a few more books to get me to that point. So I figured we would play 3 rounds of Bookopoly and see what that will give me. So let's go ahead and play the first round, and we're going to start where we left off with. We're starting off where we left off, which is LGBTQ plus rep. So let's roll. We have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A small book, less than 300 pages. So for the first roll, I got a book under 300 pages, and my book of the month came in yesterday. So we are going to use that one. This is like 290 pages, I think. So it's right under 300. 291 pages to be exact. And this one is called Rock, Paper, Scissors. And it's things have been wrong with Mr. and Mrs. Wright for a very long time. Every anniversary, the couple exchange traditional gifts, paper, cotton, pottery, tin, and in each year, Adam's wife writes him a letter that she never lets him read until now. Self-confessed workaholic and screenwriter Adam Wright has lived with face blindness his whole life. He can't recognize family or friends or even his own wife, and Amelia is sick of feeling unseen. When Adam and Amelia went a weekend away to Scotland, it might be just what their marriage needs. They both know this weekend will make or break their relationship, but they didn't randomly win this trip. One of them is lying, and someone doesn't want them to live happily ever after. So, the question is, what has she been writing in those notes? Which one of them is lying about this trip? And what is it going to solve in the end? Let's figure it out. But first, we need to go pick our other books. So, round 2. Roll number 2. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one is Monster. Okay, so round 2, we got Monsters. And for that one, I chose J.R. Ward's The Jackal, which is a spin-off from the Black Dagger Brotherhood. And this one is going to be called Prison Camp. And the Black Dagger Brotherhood I don't even know how to explain it. I think there's currently like 18 books out, 19 books, something like that. And there's a couple spin-offs. This is the second one, and then I have another book that I bought. It's actually the third spin-off, so it's a lot going on with this. But this one says, the location of the Glymer's notorious prison camp was lost after the raids when a freak accident provides Nyx clues to where her sister may still be doing time. She becomes determined to find the secret subterranean labyrinth. Embarking on a journey under the earth, she learns a terrible truth and meets a male who changes everything forever. The jackal has been in the camp for so long he cannot recall anything of the freedom he once knew. Trapped by circumstances out of his control, he helps Nyx because he cannot help himself. After she discovers what happened to her sister, getting her back out becomes a deadly mission for them both. United by a passion they can't deny, they work together on an escape plan for Nyx, even though their destiny is to be apart, forever apart. And as the Black Dagger Brotherhood is called upon for help, and Rage discovers he has a half-brother who's falsely imprisoned, and devious warden plots the death of them all, even the brothers. So, I'm excited just by reading that. Just looking at the cover, I was excited. Anything with the Black Dagger Brotherhood name on it, I am about that life. It's a wonderful read for me. I've been reading these for a very long time now. And I have to read this one. And then the next one in the series, which just came out not that long ago. And then there's a book in between that is for another spinoff. And then in 2022, the next book's going to come out for the main series. Ha! Round number 3, guys. Roll number 3 is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Myth, lore, or legend fairy tale. We've already had that one, so let's see what else I have on my shelf so I will fit that prompt. Okay, so for round 3, I got the same one again, which is myth, lore, legend, and fairy tale, which by looking at the notes, it can be a retelling. So this is kind of like a retelling of a retelling of a retelling when you think about it, because Frozen is based off of the Snow Queen from Hans Christian Andersen. And then this is a twisted tale based off of Frozen. And this one, I'm not even going to read the synopsis because I do not want to know anything more. I like to go in these just like that. And basically, the only question I need to know is, what if Anna and Elsa never knew each other? And this one is by Jen Kalanita. I'm not 100% sure. Conceal, don't feel. So I will finally be knocking another one of the Twisted Tales off of my list. And I'm so excited to do so. So that is the new 3 books I have chosen. Like I said, the readathon hosted by Melanie, Clint, and Kaylani will be starting on the 20th. So I don't want to tap into those books just yet. So I figure we will play some more Bookopoly and then go from there. And then maybe once I'm done with the next readathon, I'll have maybe a roll or 2 to finish out the month. So we shall see. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.